All right, so hey everyone, thanks for joining us. We are so excited that you are excited about the opportunity to do some global learning, get some amazing global skills while connecting with, new communities in Guatemala, intercultural skills, global skills. So we're so glad that you're here. I wanted to introduce who you'll be working with when you decide, I'm going to say when you decide to apply for this, not if you decide to apply for this. So you will be working with the International Education Office. I don't know, I think folks think that the International Education Office at Durham College is for international students, and it is, but not only. We also have amazing international experiences, whether virtual or physical, for domestic students, for all students. So this is one of the opportunities that is open to all students, and we hope that you'll take this on board. So we have myself in the International Education Office. My name is Janine. My colleague Fuang An, she's also on the line. I don't know if you can give a wave, Fuang An, as well. We worked with folks across the campus to develop this cool program for you, from the Access and Support Center to the First Peoples Indigenous Center, to the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Office, and to Career Development, because we want you to be able to translate this experience back to your resume in ways that employers understand that you've gained some really concrete intercultural skills that'll help you in your job search. And we are working with an amazing partner organization and amazing partners in Guatemala. So I am going to turn it over to our colleagues from SOS to introduce themselves.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Janine. And again, thanks to all of you for taking some time tonight to come learn about the program. We're a registered charity, students offering support. And we've been partnered with Durham College, facilitating these kinds of virtual exchange programs and also in-person trips as well over the last 3 years. And as an organization, our mission is really about empowering youth as leaders for sustainable development. And we work both with students here in Canada, as well as youth internationally in locations like Guatemala. Part of our approach of how we do that is by really building meaningful cross-cultural relationships where people have a chance to learn from one another, to exchange those global perspectives, exchange skills and knowledge. And so that's what we're going to be sharing here today. And, I won't go into too much detail for now, but I invite you all, if you want, check us out on our website, on our social media. I'm joined also by my colleague, Laura Barbosa from SOS. Maybe Laura can give a little wave. And joining us from Guatemala are two members of the local organization in Guatemala that we work with. The organization is called Seeds of Innovation for Sustainable Development. So we're joined by Isabel and Noe as well. If you're able to turn your videos and give a little wave, Noe and Isabel, and you'll be hearing from them a little bit more later on. But just really excited to be part of this. And Janine, I'll throw it back over to you.
Thanks so much, Jamie. So as you can see, we have, a fantastic team with SOS, Durham College, different offices, and we're all here to hopefully make this a really exciting and impactful experience. But don't take our word for it. We have a couple of students here who have actually participated in the same program, and they are going to speak to, what you really get out of this. So really what the program is a virtual exchange opportunity to interact with, learn with, and just really exchange knowledge and skills with Indigenous and traditional communities. And this program specifically is happening in Guatemala. We've done some amazing work with our colleagues in Guatemala over the past few years. And really the key here is about co-creation of both knowledge and output. So what happens at the end of this program is that you're going to put together a story with folks in Guatemala, with students there. And at the end of it, you're going to be able to kind of tell stories that are impactful in different ways. So you're using those media art and design skills to tell stories in different ways. And why we're working with, Indigenous and traditional communities is because we in Canada know how much reconciliation, not only at this point in juncture, but always is such an important thing for us to focus on right now. So here's a program designed to really set a foundation for reconciliation at home by engaging authentically with Indigenous people. So this case in Guatemala. Not to mention that, but on top of that, you get really specific technical skills that'll help you not only in your program, but in your career, which you can translate to your resume. So that's just the program in a nutshell. Like I said, you're going to hear more from those who have much much more to say about it, and students who haven't, have experienced it before. And we want to hear from you. We want to hear your questions, and hopefully we'll see you apply for this program. So I'll turn it over to Danielle, who will talk a little bit more about the details.
All right, well, thank you, Janine. I am very, very excited that we're able to offer this again. We went to Guatemala twice in 2019, or once in 2019 and once in 2020, and then the pandemic hit, and suddenly it was very sad that we weren't going to be able to have those connections again. And then we decided, hey, why not try this thing virtually? We're doing everything else in life virtually. Why not this as well? And it was amazing. It was a big success. And as Janine said, you'll hear from students in a minute. So what it is just an opportunity to work in groups, except you're working across borders. You know, you're way up here in Canada and those students are way down south in Guatemala, but somehow you're doing the same thing that you would do in class. So the way that this works is that we'll hold 5 sessions between January and March. Each session, each workshop is an hour and a half long. During that time, you will we'll walk you through the steps of how this is going to happen, but you will start at the beginning with getting to know each other, and then you will work your way up to the point where you have created a story about Indigenous rights that is going to hopefully inspire and help make change. And you're going to co-create, you're going to do it together. So you'll talk about the idea, talk about the issue, talk about the format that you want to tell your story in. Will it be a video? Will it be a photo essay? Will it be an animation? You're going to walk through how you're going to do that. You're going to coach the students in Guatemala using those skills you've learned in class. And then together, you will ultimately create this thing. And I know that seems like impossible when you're in 2 different places doing this virtually, but we have evidence. We will show you tonight that it can work. So you're on Zoom in these small groups. We only do one group at a time. And you can see by the pictures on your screen, we start with having a lot of fun and just getting to know each other. But we're just a small group, usually of about, I think 5 or 6 people, maybe 6 or 7 at times. Just a small group, and you're just exchanging, and you have a translator there, and you can talk back and forth, and there's someone there to help you. And then in between workshops, we use Slack, so you can type in real time. So if one of the students in Guatemala sends you a picture, you can say, hey, that's great, I love that. Or you can send them something and they can give you feedback. So we'll go through a variety of storytelling mediums. We'll also, in advance of those workshops, we have some pre-exchange training, and this is 4 modules that you will work through that will help you just build those cross-cultural skills. So, what's it like to work with people who speak in another language? What's it? How do you read body language? How do you look for verbal cues? How do you engage with people in a very different environment from the one you're used to? So 4 pre-exchange modules, 5 workshops, and ultimately a lot of gain for you in terms of the experience, like just building those friendships, and also in terms of building those cross-cultural skills. And of course, getting to use all the skills you're learning in class as well. So that is the workshop structure. We want to move forward. And at this point, I'm very excited to introduce some of the students that participated last winter with us. So we have Nick, Nia, and Manny present today. Nick is a student from Brazil and he's now in Canada, enjoying our nice cold climate. And Nick Nick was involved in the workshop, but from afar, being involved in something from afar. And then we had Nia and Manny as well, who were here in Durham region at the time. So Nick, Manny, and Nia, maybe we'll go to Nick first, because that's who I see first. Nick, what got you involved in this? What was the appeal of being involved in this?
Sure. Thank you, Danielle. I'm very happy to be here, see you all again. And just a quick correction, I'm from Colombia.
I knew that too. Sorry, pardon me. I have a student from Brazil right now in my class. Still on the brain. Colombia, still much warmer.
No problem. And just mentioning that because in Guatemala, the main language is Spanish. So I am a Spanish speaker too. And I got motivated by this FLCA opportunity in many ways. First, because I wanted to get involved in college activities, knowing more students, practicing my skills from the program. But also I found a way to connect with another culture that is close to mine, Latin American culture. What was very interesting is that my first expectations about this was just that, like connecting and understanding that. But after that, it was way more, like it became way more personal, like how much I learned from them. Also, how much we understood all these concepts of intercultural experiences, and everything was online. So it makes it even more impressive.
Excellent, thank you. And Mia, what for you? What attracted you to this project last year?
Hi, everyone. So currently I'm a second year video production student. And when I joined this project, I was a first year student. So I was looking, similar to what Nick said, I was looking for different opportunities to meet new people and things like that at our school. And then when I looked more into the opportunity, I saw mentioned that we would be working with international students. And I really like the idea behind travel and learning about different cultures and things like that. That has always been an interest of mine. So to have an opportunity like this to work with some students from a whole other continent, that seemed really interesting. I've never had a chance to do that. So, and I really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Nia. And Manny, for you, what was the attraction to joining this project? And Manny, you're an international student from India, correct?
Yes, I am.
Perfect.
So when I joined the program, it was essentially because when I'm an international student myself, and through the pandemic, I haven't really had an opportunity to connect with people because there were no in-person classes most of the time. When I joined, I just wanted like a circle, like a group of people I could work with and, who had a common connection. But as Nia and Nick said before, like it became so much more because the students were they were so fun to work with. And honestly, I learned such a lot of team building skills. And yeah, it was amazing because they were very enthusiastic in working with us. And also like the cultural experience of it, mingling with people from a different culture, like it gives you an insight into your life and, how like other people don't essentially have like a similar experience, and you get to learn a lot more about other cultures. Yeah.
Excellent. So just talking about that, maybe if each of you could tell me a little bit about what surprised you about the experience, or what you took from the experience that you maybe weren't expecting.
I can go first. I kind of didn't expect, so I do have like huge commitment issues towards whatever I'm doing, but I didn't it kind of got better as it moved on, which I thought I would lose interest, but as I talked about before, the students were like so fun to work with, and to think that the end product, seeing everything and all the effort we put into the work and seeing it come to life, it was worth it. So yeah.
What about Nia or Nick?
Yeah, well, for me, it was really cool. We were basically teachers for a couple months, and we got to kind of share our knowledge of storytelling with some other individuals that were also interested in storytelling. So we got to teach them different ways to do that, and that was really unique. So I like that as well.
Cool.
I think what impressed me the most was the students of Guatemala, because honestly, yes, we were teaching them, but they were teaching us too, and they are leaders in their communities. So that was very impressive how much they really touch you, and how you receive that energy from them.
Nick, I'm glad you mentioned that because, you know, the one concern I had when we started was how do we replicate the real world in the virtual environment? Like, will our students really build that bond with those students? Will they really feel that connection? So how well, or what was that like? You know, for the students that are here today, potentially thinking of this, what was that like to do it in the virtual environment?
It is challenging for sure. Like, as we have the experience of having classes online, there's a barrier between these computers, but as soon as you see them on camera, like they are all together, they really want to do this. Like you told us the story that some of them have to walk like an hour to get to these places. You see how much important it is for them. And especially, I can remember how emotional they got like in the last sessions, like when they knew it was going to be over, they were very emotional, like they wanted to keep doing that. So I think it's all because they give so much passion into it. And if you give some time, like it's not terrible, you can arrange your schedules. As soon as you give some heart to it, you're gonna make the connection despite of the internet way of things.
So true. Yeah, absolutely. And I totally saw that as we moved along, that just, it got stronger and stronger. Nia and Manny, would you like to add anything to that about the virtual environment?
Sure. I actually think it went very well actually. Kind of like Nick said, whenever the camera was on, everyone was super engaged, willing to learn. We didn't really have any sort of technical issues or anything like that. And yeah, I think it went well, having it be virtual and everything like that. So.
And Nia, I know if you don't mind me putting you on the spot for a sec, you were a little bit shy when it started. You confessed to being shy in this virtual environment, but by the end, you were talking away to these students. So
yeah. And sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's another thing I was able to gain from this experience too. Is I feel like in a way it kind of helped build my public speaking skills in a way because every week we came to meet with the students, we kind of had to have something prepared in a sense to present, and that was definitely, it was a very welcoming group. I never really felt super nervous, and if I did, I always warmed up eventually. So yeah.
Which is remarkable because you weren't even speaking the same language, right? Yeah.
Yes, that too. Yeah.
And Manny, would you like to add anything about the virtual environment?
I would like to say that I think it was convenient for, at least for me, because it saved us from the hassle from actually traveling to that place. I know there's a lot of paperwork probably involved if we actually travel. And for me, being an international student, that really much more. So I'd like to add to that. And also I'd say that, as Nia said, I have a bit of social anxiety, but somehow thinking that you could do it from the comfort of our homes and actually watch people on the screen, it made it a bit better.
That's an interesting point, one I hadn't thought of. Just one final question to all of you. What do you think is the lasting impact of being involved in this project? What will you take to the workforce, or what will you take with you throughout for the rest of your life from that?
I'd say that I've learned to empathize with another culture much more, and also seeing the students as they used to travel for about an hour or so to come, have this whole discussion with us. And even learning about their lives and how, certain things are just so easily available to us, like clean drinking water. And just to think that, we have this privilege, but we never really thought about it. It's just easier to empathize with other people when you see how they go about with their day-to-day lives.
Yeah, for sure. Nia or Nick?
Okay, I'll go. No problem. And so there are many things, honestly, Danielle. First, the people, not only you and your team and SOS, but also the people in Guatemala, and that awareness that Manny was talking about, like knowing them, what they do, how the community works. Those are things that really change you, in my opinion. And you start to see the world in different ways. Like you start to be like more grateful. You start to see a lot of value in everything you do in your daily life. So I think it's like a game changer for me, honestly.
Thank you. And Nia, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I would just like to say, even when we got to see all the end results of all the students' hard work, that was really inspiring to see all their dedication throughout the couple of months that we were all working together, and see it all come together, and all the notes they were able to take and things they were able to learn and put it all into one final product all together. I think that was really inspiring, and I can definitely take that and grow with that. So
Excellent. Well, you guys have made me feel all choked up and emotional missing this from just as we go down memory lane. And I should add that Manny actually stayed on later and worked with SOS on virtual exchanges throughout the summer as well. So she kind of kept the spirit going. Just as Nia's talking about our finished product, we'll turn now to watching a project, one of the projects that was a result. And this was Nick's. Nick, do you want to set this up for us, the animation?
Oh yeah, like doing an overview, like a brief of it.
Yeah, just tell us a bit about how, like, what you guys did.
Right. So you're going to work in groups, and each group is going to have a different format of storytelling. I don't know if this year is going to be the same.
Similar, yeah.
Okay, so for our group, we had animation, and so they were very excited about doing something very special, and they came up with a story of superheroes. The superheroes that wanted to make a change in the community. And so we didn't have the opportunity to actually make drawings and something very complicated, but they actually made the story the way they wanted to. And then we worked together to make like a voiceover of the story.
Excellent. Wonderful. Well, we will now watch it.
Captain Planet and the 5 Planetarians. Many years ago, the Earth was invaded by billions. Their objective was to destroy the planet Earth with toxic waste that produced pollution. And it was then when the Queen of the Rings selected 5 young people who were assigned the mission of caring for and protecting planet Earth, granting them with different magic rings. But to obtain the powers, the Queen of the Rings imposed rules on them and took them to her planet. There, they were trained to control their powers. One day, the villains appeared and began to destroy planet Earth, cutting down trees and producing water pollution. After a few days, the 5 planetarians were sent back to their home planet to fulfill the mission that was assigned to them. When planet Earth turned gray, the 5 planetarians appeared for its rescue. They began to fight the billions and invoke Captain Planet, joining their powers and resisting the threat. They made it planting trees and cleaning contaminated rivers. Working together with Captain Planet, the 5 planetarians managed to defeat the billions, leaving an environment free of pollution. To celebrate the victory, the 5 planetarians joined their rings and with great confidence said, "The power is yours. Change depends on you. You have the power of changing the world."
That was so fun to watch that again. I loved it. So that is just one example of the many stories. There were videos, stories, photo essays, text-based stories,
Podcasts.
Yes, that's right, podcasts. So lots of creativity. And I should add that Nick is not an animation student. Manny is an animation student, but it is not her group that did the animation. The students choose what storytelling method they want to use. And, so part of the learning for you also is just learning new skills as well. So, well, thank you, Nick, Nia, and Manny. Feel free to stay with us in case the students that are in this session have any questions, but you just warmed my heart just to hear all of the wonderful things that you got from this experience last year.
Danielle, sorry to interrupt. Can I say one last thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like about what we saw, and just for you to know, guys, that this was made entirely by the students. They edited, they do the drawings, they took the pictures, they edit the video, and they did a Spanish voiceover too. I just wanted to add that.
No, thank you. And I think that's really important to remind everyone that, you're only there as a guide and teaching them some of the technical skills, but it really is the students in Guatemala who drive this and who come up with the ideas. Like you're a guide, but you're and a teacher, but certainly that it's remarkable how hard they worked and how well they wanted to do at it, for sure. So in terms of the workshop scheduling, we will be organizing students into 6 groups, and these are the times that your workshops would be. When you apply, we ask you about your course schedule, and we ask you to choose, we will be asking you to choose, so I can't remember if it's the top 3, but the best fits for your schedule. And then we will assign you accordingly. So you might be a journalism student in with a graphic design student, in with an advertising student. So part of your interaction is just learning from other people in the School of Media, Art and Design as well. We will try to do our very best to accommodate what's best for you, but we are kind of limited by these times because of the students in Guatemala and their own school times, and then of course time change. So I should note that the final workshop for all of the final workshop there's a time zone change because we have a time zone change, but Guatemala doesn't. So more on that to come, and that will be on the website. But these are your tentative dates. So you would only be in one group. So if you're group 5, you would be every Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And you just turn on your camera, you enter Zoom at 5 p.m. and you're off by 6:30. And then it's basically every other week. And on the weeks in between, you'll be working with your group to be ready for the next session. And we do set you up so that you know what you're doing in each session. We have one of the pre-exchange modules is helping you to plan your class, like to plan your workshop, I should say. So we do give you guidance and we give you all of the tools. It's not like you have to learn animation from the beginning. We give you all the tools that you will need to help guide the students in Guatemala. So that's all I have here. Oh, so Noe, I guess we're going to move on to talking about, if we want to go to the next slide. And now I guess we're going to meet our local partners. So my friend Noe will be joining us first. Go ahead, Noe.
Hi, everyone. I don't know if you can see me.
We see you, Noe.
Okay, so my name is Noe. I am from the community of Las Arrugas. I have been working with the SOS organization the last 5 years. Last year, we started a project that is called Guate Groundswell. And it's been like an amazing experience for me and for my community. Here we have the Poconchi culture, means like the Poconchi 2 is the name of the language. We are located in the north area of Guatemala, in Alta Verapaz. Most of the students and the families here are bilingual. They speak Poconchi and Spanish. And for example, sadly, most of the families think like girls just has to study until 6th grade, you know. But we are working in that area, like trying to encourage families to they understand what the importance of the education is, and girls too after 6th grade. What I had to tell you is like, you know, yeah, this year we're working with Durham College too, making podcasts, like video, photographer, and draws too. And like I see the video like where they working in the superheroes, like working in the natural powers, and make me so happy because more students are getting more involved. They want to use their skills into the school because, you know, the principal of telesecundaria told me like after they learn it from volunteers from Durham, they reply what they learn with their classmates too. So some of those things make me so happy and make me so proud of them, and make me to doing my best with my students because I know like they are taking care of what they have been learning. So thank you.
I was going to say, so Noe is calling in from the community
Sorry.
of Las Arrugas, and we also have Isabel, who's our program officer in another region of Guatemala. So we can invite Isabel as well to share a little bit about her experience working with the program.
Thank you, Jamie. I know if you can see me, you can hear me as well.
Yep.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Isabela, and I am from Quiché. It's in the north of Guatemala. So I'm the program officer of San Felipe and Ojo de Agua, and I would like to share a little bit about the communities where Gigi is working right now. San Felipe and Ojo de Agua are our local communities. The people from there speak usually Ixil, which is a Mayan language, and some of the families speak Quiché. And we have our students in those communities, and they have been enjoying to come and have our the virtual session with the students from Canada. They arrived here for about, they took a bus to come here for about 45 minutes. And unfortunately, the families from our communities are living in poverty because of the earth happened many years ago. So now the families are like inverting their time to harvest harvest and plant vegetables, corn and beans. Those are the main production for their incomes, and actually I've been enjoying working with them because they have the enthusiasm. They are very enthusiastic to learn. Even they're facing many challenges, but they have the power, the emotion. They are very emotional to become good leaders, to have a career in the future. So I'm very happy, and it's what I can share about the communities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Noe and Isabel. So just to add a little bit to what Noe and Isabel are saying. So the virtual exchange programs that you'll be part of here are really kind of one part of SOS's work ongoing with the students in these communities. So the students also receive scholarships to help them stay in school. They're also responsible for helping lead local tutoring sessions to help younger students in their community. So the virtual exchanges help to really kind of add to and kind of complement everything else that's going on to really create a very holistic impact. In fact, Noe was calling in as they're running a financial literacy workshop happening right now in the community as well. So it's not just one piece of the puzzle, it's kind of all of it coming together, just to add that in. Wonderful. So I pass it over to Janine and Fong.
And I'll toss that right back to Fuang An.
Thanks, Jamie. Thanks, Noel and Isabella, to share about the communities. And yeah, that is so lovely. And I still remember the last time I attended one of your premier workshops. It was so heartwarming. And until now, when I rewatched the videos and the final projects of the students again, it still like somehow makes me kind of burst into tears sometimes, because it's such a great project. So on that note, I would like to talk just a little bit about the application process. So this project is open to all students from School of Media, Art and Design. This is actually the first project of the FLCA at Home in a Way program, which runs 4 years. In this program, we have multiple projects, and FLCA at Home Storytelling in Winter 2022 is our first project. It is open to all students from School of Media, Art and Design, and we encourage students who self-identify as Indigenous students. Students may require accommodations, and low-income students to attend as well, because thanks to the generous funding of the Government of Canada in this Global Skills Opportunity, we will be able to support students to attend in this project. And all students must complete the application form on durhamcollege.ca/FLCA. The application deadline is November 26th, which is next Friday. And the application form is on the same page of the FLCA page. You will be able to see step by step, including destination fast facts. So based on the conversation with our wonderful local leaders and SOS information that SOS provided us, we had a quick infographic that you can take a look and get to know the destination as well. And then you will see step by step the application form. And then we will, after you submitted the application form, we will get in touch with you to let you know the interview. So we call it interview, but it's actually the opportunity for us, the project team, and you to get to know each other. It's going to be like 10 to 15 minutes only, and we're going to talk and get to know about your skills, your experience, and what you expect, what you want to bring to the project as well. The schedule for the interviews are already public on the FLCA page, which is Wednesday, December 8th and Friday, December 10th. So when you submit your application, please select your availability for the interview as well, so we can set up the meeting with you. And I guess that's all from me about the application process. Later in the end of this presentation, if you have any questions for us in terms of the application process, please feel free to do so. I'm just gonna turn over to Janine about participation recognition and some wraparound supports.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Fuang An. So, I think as some of the students shared who have been involved in this previously, there are some amazing long-term lasting outcomes that you'll have that can't be recognized, by a piece of paper. You will see it in the way that you interact in the world and the way that you have experienced personal growth. However, at the end of the program, you will receive a certificate of completion for being part of the FLCA program. But not only that, Durham College is developing a global competency framework for students, so that students who participate in things like FLCA and other opportunities can get recognition on their transcript for those extracurricular activities. And if you participate in this FLCA, you get a quarter of the points towards having that global competency designation on your transcript. So it's the most points that you could possibly get. So that would be something, a notation on your transcript of global competency from participating in that, as well as a certificate at the end. I just wanted to also share maybe just about the wraparound support. So even though, it's a virtual program, you're thinking, okay, all I need to do is, connect, but we really are engaging with other cultures, which is exciting. But also, we need to learn how to do that well. So there are some kind of pre-workshop activities activities to push intercultural awareness, to really get that intercultural sensitivity. But along with that, we do have supports because this program is designed to be extremely accessible to all students at Durham College in the School of Media and Design first, and hopefully later on in other schools, but it is an accessible program. So we're encouraging all students to apply because we do have wraparound supports from the from our ASC, so our Access and Support Center, as well as our First Peoples Indigenous Center. And, you know, from our office, we're there to support you. Your faculty member who will be leading, Danielle, is there to support you as well. So that's all to kind of make you feel really comfortable engaging in the program. Any of the concerns, you know, I think it was Nia who mentioned at the outset that she had some nerves going in. There are supports to kind of talk through any of those concerns, nerves, or excitement as well, and just kind of engaging respectfully with cultures overseas. So I hope that is kind of helpful. I forgot to mention that it's free. I think Phong An mentioned at the outset that because of the generous funding that we have from the Government of Canada, this program and your participation in it is completely funded. So we are looking forward to, you know, having you participate for free and gain some of those amazing, both tangible and intangible outcomes at the end of it. Thanks, Phong An. I think at this point, we get to hear from those who are on the line. So for those of you who are thinking about this, who are definitely going to apply, for any of you, if you have any questions, we're all here now to answer them and to encourage you to apply. So feel free to raise your hand, unmute yourself, or share questions in the chat. We'll wait the customary Zoom 7 seconds to see if anything comes through in terms of questions. Okay. So that just tells me that, you know, through that presentation, many of the students who are here joining us and who are interested really understood, you know, what this program is, and you're hopefully really excited to apply. I think, do we have one more slide? We do have one more slide, Phong An. What we maybe want to share, oh yeah, you already changed it, thanks, is that please apply now because the space is limited. As we mentioned, it is generously funded by the Government of Canada, but that means that there are only a certain number of spaces. So please apply now. The deadline is next week, but we're excited to get your applications in right away. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us at educationabroad@durhamcollege.ca. And we look forward to seeing your application and to meeting you soon. Jamie or Danielle, did you want to share any final words?
Just we're excited to kick things off in January and hopefully get to know all of you more in the coming months. Can't wait for it. Thanks everyone for joining today.
And I would just say, I hope that what you heard from the students who were previously involved energizes you and helps you to see that it's more than just, you know, a box that you'll check on your resume, but that it's really a life learning or a project that you will carry with you for the rest of your life. So thank you.
Well, thank you all for joining us today. Like we said, the recording will be available. So if you ever want to go back to a section and say, you know, what was that about, or watch that wonderful video, it is on YouTube. So we'll share that link as well. Thanks. And we will follow up with you. And we hope to see your applications at durhamcollege.ca/FLCA. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Thanks.
Buenas noches.